but not an unprecedented deal. In fact, virtually all administrations go through them. I'll look back now at some of the more notable, if not notorious ones, with Game of Thrones author Doug Wead, historian extraordinaire. Doug, we tend to look at this, but it's a bipartisan thing that presidents do. I mean, they routinely shake things up, sometimes when it's not even necessary to shake things up, huh?
Yes, they do. It's bipartisan. That's the word. It happens to them all. The average length of stay on senior staff is 1.5 years. Well, when I went to work on senior staff in the White House, someone sat me down and said, look, this is the major leagues. There's no training here. You're out. You make a mistake, you're out. There's no second chances. So, and you remember Richard Nixon, we talk about him from time to time. He quoted Gladstone, who said a good prime minister must be a good butcher. And he claims that he should have fired Ehrlichman and Haldeman a lot earlier.
You know, Nixon was famous right after his landslide election to ask for the resignation of the entire cabinet. He was going to pick and choose who he would let go, but that was long before the Watergate thing came to light. So we do have a history of that. Do they change the needle? In other words, Ronald Reagan with Howard Baker coming on did change the needle a little bit, right?
It does a little bit. Sometimes it gets worse.
Yeah,
but there are examples where it gets a lot better. Bill Clinton comes to mind. Leon Panetta may have saved him from being voted out in the impeachment trial.
Oh, that's a very
so
good
there
point,
are sometimes some really good chiefs of staff who can make a difference.
As we wait for the president and Melania Trump to meet with Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife, and they're going to have a joint discussion here. Obviously, much is going to be made if American reporters ask questions about these rumors of a shakeup and that the administration is scrambling. But other presidents, to your point, have done this. So how should he answer?
Yeah, well, he has to. Loyalty works both ways. So they're going to be watching closely how he handles this. I remember George H.W. Bush. We had a reporter when I was in the White House who broke the upcoming summit between the Russians and the Russians and the Americans. When he did, the president said anybody caught in the presence of this reporter would be fired on the spot. So the poor reporter was like a vampire walking through the White House. It was, stay away from me. I don't want to be fired. So the president does have to act tough, and yet at the same time has to be loyal back to the people he's asking to keep his secrets.
All right. Doug, thank you very much. I want to listen in right now to the president, Benjamin Netanyahu, and their respective wives. They might have a little bit of a fun back and forth discussing before their formal remarks to reporters. Let's listen in a bit, see what we can get.